First off, I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And this is Old Man Orange Podcast. It feels
Just in case you didn't, yeah.
It feels so weird actually because it wasn't really even like starting off on the wrong foot. It was literally just kind of stumbled into the door like, oh wait, should we start? Okay, let's get it out of the way. We're already talking, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so I actually saw Transformers 5 last night.
Nice.
Not really, no.
You didn't like it at all?
I really didn't like it. I wasn't expecting myself to love it, but fuck, dude, that movie, like, every single line was exposition. And if it wasn't exposition, it was like a bad joke of the robots bumping into each other and just like, you know, making dick jokes or whatever.
No, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Not gonna deny that, but
it's like one of those things that the Transformers, like the only one that is super serious, like, I am Optimus. This is all very important. The rest of the Autobots are all like just fucking farting in each other's faces and shit.
That's what I mean. It's just like it has that weird thing, and that's how like the Transformers movies. It's like I think that's where they need the next person to take over because clearly it's a different world to Michael Bay's mind. Like. And whoever's like on his team writing it and putting it together, it's like they do not. I don't know what it is. It's like that's where I feel like in that movie, it's like I kind of noticed like they almost make the Transformers out like they're like animals that have like just like learned how to speak not that long ago and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those things. I don't know. It's just like there's never a quiet moment with them, and I'm not expecting them to sit there and like. Bumblebee, tell me what's on your mind. Like, well, there's this girl I really like, and I don't know how to talk. I'm not expecting that shit. But at the exact same time, I'd expect a little bit more than just them. Like, I mean, I really don't remember their conversation so well, other than there's just a lot of noise and a lot of like almost slapstick humor of them slipping and falling on top of each other, or just like Steve Buscemi bot just being kind of like, oh, look, I got a fucking head of like Starscream or whatever, you know?
Like, yeah, you can put it on your wall, or you can fuck its face.
Who wants to skull fuck Starstream? I do. And then it just becomes this like fucking like slapstick bit of them just like bouncing.
Like one of them's like juggling it, and they're playing like monkey in the middle of each other.
Hey, come on, stop it, guys! And Mark Wahlberg has to come in and make the scene.
Like, whoa! You guys, you got to fucking chill. We got shit to do here. I have a daughter. If you don't forget.
Like, oh, okay. They all just walk off in separate directions so the story can progress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not like I'll say it's like I didn't like hate the movie. Like it was still like fun, but it was definitely like, well, it's not definitely a step higher like I was hoping it might be.
Well, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm not sure if I went back and watched 1 and 2. I know those ones are flawed as hell. I know that, but at the same time, I saw them when I was a little younger. So maybe, I mean, I wasn't like a kid or anything, but I was definitely younger. So I'm wondering if those ones would still hold up or if I'd still find them enjoyable. Because this one, I'm just like, they can't even keep track of their own, like, chronology in it. Because fucking, like, all right, the third one, Megatron dies. Fourth one, he comes back as Galvatron. And this one, he's Megatron again for some reason. And I kind of like how they just blow off the whole thing about, like, Sam Witwicky. Like, all the Witwickies are dead. This British girl's the only one left of that lineage. Like, Sam died? Yeah, fuck him. We don't care. Moving on.
Yeah, they kind of just do that, too. It is... Yeah, they are kind of odd. I don't even know how much more to describe. Because they're, like, movies you really cannot defend. Like... You just got to kind of sort of accept them for what they are and be grateful that you at least have a Transformers movie instead of not having a Transformers movie. That's how I kind of just look at that whole series. And I think if you go into it with that mindset, then you're like, yeah, you know, they're not bad. They're fun. That's what they are at the end of the day. They're not the Transformers you kind of want them to be. They're not the Transformers the animated movie where shit's serious.
They're not the Transformers we want, but the Transformers we deserve.
Yeah, they're not the Transformers we want or the Transformers we maybe deserve, but I'm grateful that we at least have Transformers. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. I find it so weird because it started off with me being the one who's like, you know, just give the movies a shot. Then as time went on, you hated them. And then as time went on, like, you know, maybe I will give them a shot. And then I've kind of slowly turned on them. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those ones. It takes a lot for me to kind of hate a movie nowadays. Like, this sounds weird, but I had to kill like 2 hours, so I like went to the movie theaters and I was all, what to see? And I was literally just going like, what is under two? What's an hour and a half? Because with trailers it'll be about 2 hours. And what starts like right now? And I went there. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing Rough Night. Let's go see that movie.
You are far more open-minded than you used to be because you hate Scarlett Johansson.
You know, and it sounds kind of weird. It's like in about the last year or so, I've kind of come to the point where it's like, okay, she's not my favorite actress by any extent, but well, she's in half the things I always want to see anyway, so I might as well just sort of accept her like a Transformers, new movie.
So how was Rough Night?
You know what it was? Okay, remember that movie you made back like maybe 1 year out of high school, called The Cleanup Shift?
Oh, the one where they're trying to get rid of a dead body at a restaurant?
It's literally like that movie. That, like when I was, because I didn't know what the movie was
I got to
about.
step up my game then. Fuck.
I had no idea what the movie was about. I literally just knew that she was on the cover and that was it. And at first when the movie started up, I'm like, oh, fuck. Is it one of those like Hangover, Bridesmaids types movies? Because that's how it kind of started. I'm like, and it kind of had stupid jokes and it had the stereotypical characters. I mean, this sounds weird. Scarlett Johansson was the only character that wasn't really stereotypical, but all her friends were very. It was like, look, there's the fat fuck friend that nobody likes. There's like the stupid bitchy rich girl. There's the hippie dippy girl. And it was like, they were like to the T stereotypical. And I was kind of going, fuck, is this what this movie's going to be? Is it just going to be a bunch of lame jokes and them just going like, we're drinking, there's a stripper, look at my dick. It's like, you're a woman, that's okay. Like, that's what it sort of felt like at first. And then all of a sudden it kind of turned into, it's like, here comes a stripper or whatever. And they accidentally like knock him over and he hits his head and like bleeds out on the floor. And they're like, oh, fuck, we got to get rid of this dead body. I'm like, oh, okay, that's at least getting kind of interesting now.
Well, I knew that. I knew it was kind of like the girls' version of Very Bad Things. And my thing, just to clarify, there was no stripper involved. It was a couple of guys in a weird situation where they were framed and had to get rid of they're in this weird situation and they got framed and they're trying to figure out a way how to get rid of a body after hours at a restaurant. So, probably would have got more gory if we actually had more time and actual money, but that though right there, that movie, it didn't look good to me, but was it okay? Or were you surprised by it? Or was it just kind of everything you thought it would be after you realized?
No, it definitely wasn't everything I thought because I had no idea what I thought it was going to be, but I will say it was one of those movies where it wasn't really, in my opinion, it wasn't really that great, but I give it a lot of credit. I like the concept of it. I think the concept was kind of cool because it was sort of like, in a sense, it was like pretty much like a high school movie with a big budget. That's kind of how it felt. Because that kind of storyline, I feel, is like one of those ones like, that's like, hey, we can have a dead body and we can try to put some jokes around trying to get rid of it and all this stuff like that. It reminds me of a total high school movie idea. And there's only like 6 characters generally in the entire movie. Maybe about well, there's more than that because then it's got like her husband's like bachelor party, which they make the men like, oh, we're out here sipping wine and we're all kind of weird and not gay, but almost gay.
That's kind of funny right there. Whenever they show the men,
I'll say this, that was strange enough. Sometimes funnier than sometimes the girl stuff. Because the thing is, a lot of the jokes fell flat. I mean, there was a couple times I did laugh. I can't remember what they are by this point, but it's that thing that if you throw enough jokes at the wall, there's always going to be a funny one. That's just how comedy works. You could throw out those people out there that are not funny whatsoever. At some point though, if they keep trying, they will say something funny. You can finally get a laugh. And that's kind of how this movie was. It was like most of the jokes, they just felt too we're trying to be raunchy, we're trying to be funny. And it's kind of yeah, whatever, yeah, okay. I see. But I like more just the concept of these people trying to hide this body and that part. Mm-hmm. But yeah, nothing worth going out. I wouldn't even say it's not even worth really watching on video or anything like that. That sounds like such a horrible review for it. I feel bad even saying that kind of stuff. Not even fucking worth watching whatsoever. If it's a free movie on a plane ticket, don't fucking watch it. Just go sit in the restroom the whole time. It's better. No, it's not that bad.
If you watch the movie, you won't die. But there's better things to be watching.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. It's like, it was fun, but yeah. It was perfect to kill 2 hours. As I said, what else was I going to do to go spend money on something? It's like, no way. I'm getting fucking use out of my movie card this month. I've seen 7 movies in theaters.
Well,
I saw the Tupac movie twice. That's how much use I got out of that. I wanted to make sure that movie was getting some more money, at least in this area.
I'm surprised it even came to Tuolumne County.
I know, because other movies aren't. But what's kind of funny? They noticed, about the last, 2 weeks or so, maybe even a little bit longer, I've just been on, this marathon of, early 90s slash late 80s, like kind of like black gangster and hip hop movies. And it's just come to the point where Laura's like, would you stop watching? Like every night, it's just another one,
Boys in the
another one.
Hood,
Yeah, I watched Boys
Blue
in the
Hill
Hood. I
Avenue.
watched Juice. No, I haven't watched that one yet, but I did think about it.
I
I
have that
watched,
movie. So.
yeah, I just bought like a ton more of them. They finally came in from Amazon. I watched Menace to Society, the Hughes brothers one. Oh, so
Hughes
good.
brothers are always
And
good.
then I bought, yeah, and then I bought their other movie called Dead Presidents, which I've never seen that one before, and it looks really cool. So I can't wait to watch that. But it's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like it's almost like, well, remember those like 3 months straight where I watched only Chinese movies? It was like my TV didn't speak a word of English for a long while. It's gonna be like that, but now it's just urban gangster flicks.
You just go through these phases, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I mean,
Well, I watched Spider-Man for like 72 fucking episodes. That took like 2 months, so there was that phase too, I guess you could say.
it's all at once or nothing at all.
I know, I go big. And mostly I notice my marathons of stuff generally like last about like 2 to 3 months when I get really into something.
I
I just go for it.
went to go see. One reason why I'll doing back to this for a second. One reason I think I really didn't like Transformers 5 all that much, aside from being a late showing, it was also one of those things. Day before I saw Baby Driver, and that's like having like a very very like amazing like steak, and then going I'm still kind of hungry, and then going to McDonald's right afterwards.
Yeah, and then you kind of almost like lose that taste of that steak in your mouth. You almost can't even remember it nearly as well. You're like, I think it was like this, but now all I can taste is that.
Or even another one. It's like chugging like a thing of like juice, just a thing of juice, and then downing a shot of vinegar. Like that they just have that those tastes don't mix.
So you just changed it up. But no,
No, I think that makes sense. That makes sense. Something really sweet and then something bitter and disgusting.
yeah. Actually, I kind of like vinegar, but that's just me. Or like,
I mean, like by itself, though. By itself, would you?
dude, I do apple cider vinegar shots like nobody's business. I'm like, I need some fucking vinegar. Just like fucking, just take it off the bottle. Get a little nip off the bottle.
Like I get soaking it in bread or something, or throwing it on something, but by itself, I remember there's this kid that would literally just drink to prove how tough he was. Drink straight oil vinegar out of olive oil vinegar, right? Not olive oil.
Olive oil. It's
Straight
like,
vinegar.
Jesus Christ, you'd be like on the gravy train.
No, he's like straight up like just chugging like vinegar right out of a bottle. Like Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay, well,
Just he was definitely the Kenny of the group. If we're
yeah,
putting
I'm not gonna do that.
this.
It's like, I feel like that would just rot away your teeth if you did too much of it.
He would do it like whenever somebody dared him or would give him $2 to do it.
Exactly, but no, Baby Driver was amazing though. That movie was like all around good. And what I liked about it is it reminded me of like early Tarantino, but with the Edgar Wright flair, because it had that sort of true romance, natural born killers kind of feel. That almost like it's 1950s flair, but we're in modern time, and it's about like a boy and a girl, and they kind of first meet. And they really don't know a whole lot about each other, but they already realize that they have so much in common that they can fucking just go and like never look back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how Baby Driver sort of feels. It has like that kind of style too. And then it's also got the cool soundtrack of all like the really cool picked like 50s, 60s, and 70s tunes. And then it's kind of got the action too. It's a heist film. I like that part of it. Like everything in this thing is sweet.
Well, it's also I overheard that this movie, what inspired him to make this movie, is like the time when Edgar Wright was living with Tarantino before he actually worked a whole lot in the United States. He was like, 'cause Tarantino saw Shaun of the Dead and loved it, and he just kind of reached out to him. He's just like, dude, I love your movie. Tell you what, why don't you just crash over at like why don't you just crash in my spare like my back house or whatever, his spare house he had on his property, and he lived there for I don't know how long, but at least a few months, and then that's where he kind of went to, was almost kind of like film education for himself from Tarantino. And Tarantino has his own, you probably already know this, but Tarantino, he has his own screening room, of course. And what he does whenever he shows a movie, he'll like cherry pick trailers that are coming out around the same time for that movie to give it that vibe. So he said hanging out with Tarantino around that time is kind of what gave him the idea for this movie.
Well, that totally makes sense. When you say that, it's like, because that's exactly how I felt. It was like, dude, it just feels like an early Tarantino movie, like, but pre-Pulp Fiction Tarantino
But
style.
I had a little because Tarantino always had his films are never that glossy and shiny. They're always a little bit more grittier and dirtier. And this one, it felt kind of like that Tarantino type setup and kind of feel to it, but a lot shinier and kind of glossier. But that's I think Edgar Wright can pull that look off and not make it look too commercial or too cheesy or anything.
And I wouldn't even say it's really like glossier because I didn't really get that either out of it. I just felt like what it had is it had the fun of Edgar Wright. Because Edgar Wright to me, it just reminds me of like a really fun director.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the vibes you get. Like, and then it's like they have great action scenes. And they're like, dude, those car scenes in the movie, it's like it could go head to head with any Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah.
by glossier and shinier, I guess I mean because they have a lot more. They have so much color going on in them, and it's usually very bright environments. And a lot of the. Oh, I'm also saying because the cars are always like brand new. Where I think a lot of Tarantino movies, maybe a couple scenes in Death Proof, but they're usually beat up cars or
Yeah, they'd
whatever.
be older, rugged.
Yeah, and this felt kind of like. I guess kind of like I like Fast and Furious, but this seemed more like Fast and Furious for me, kind of.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of felt too. Is it felt, like it had a little bit more of the car action in it and stuff. Because that's sort of the sad part about Fast and Furious. Even though I still love the movies, because they're, no matter what, they're still great. But they have sort of lost the cars have almost become like second instead of being like about the cars. Which I mean, I will say that's what I liked about number 8 is in the very beginning though they kind of gave you a classic Fast and the Furious scene right off the bat. But where this one felt like the car was still like it was like this car was like his second nature. You know what I mean? Like driving is just what he was good at. It's what he could do. He was like so in touch with it, and it kind of like described it by like almost like the music itself dials him into how he can drive.
Yeah, and
I even like that line that like Jamie Foxx has where he's talking about this other driver. He's like, one time he's like, if the radio song was wrong, he couldn't do it. We were sitting there and he was flipping through and a song came on and he was like, fuck it, I'm not doing the job. He's like, what do you mean? Because this one song? That one song is not letting me do it. And I was like knocking on heaven's door.
I was gonna say, first off, we're gonna get into a lot of spoilers talking about this movie, of course, but uh, so a criticism I heard about the movie is sometimes the movie's trying to make it have, and I don't know where I heard this, but it's like it's trying to almost have too much fun, and you can't take it seriously to a certain aspect. Like I heard someone say that like the very beginning when he's coming in, he's like just playing, he's listening to the song Bell Bottoms, which I don't remember who sings it, but he's singing that song and just bobbing his head and he's getting into it. And it's not like just a quick little 30-second scene. It's like most of the song.
Yeah.
He's like mouth syncing it. I mean, lip syncing it, bobbing his head, like slapping the steering wheel, the side of the car, playing it like it's an instrument, and just having a lot of fun with it. And I've heard people say, well, they're trying to get across how cool and how chill this guy is, and they're just like they're trying too hard. And like I didn't take that at all. The way I took it as he's nervous as fuck. This is how he gets in the zone. Yeah, this is how he's because there's several moments where they once or twice they said either you really don't give a shit or you give too much of a shit. You're pretending like you don't. That's why you're always listening to these headphones. And that part, there's even a part where he kind of turns and double takes a few times when he's singing and just bobbing his head to that music. And I actually kind of like that he is fucking scared shitless, but this is like his one thing that he has to do to kind of get him amped up. Plus, that right there sets the tone for the rest of the movie. You're in for something that's more for, it's kind of like an action musical. They're not actually singing, but there's nearly always a song playing in this movie.
Yeah, that's true. There's a constant amount of tunes going through, and the soundtrack's fucking awesome. So it's like you get all that cool stuff. And I don't think that's, I mean, I guess you could say that scene's just a tad bit over the top, but that's a movie, you know what I mean? Like in real life, you'd be sitting there jamming, and you might not go that far into it in your car. But if it's a movie, you got to crank it up to 11. That's always how it's supposed to be. If you don't do that, then it's going to look kind of odd.
Well, I think that's the time in a movie you should probably do that. Like if this was a very serious, bleak movie and they suddenly do this shit, like it's say like the halfway mark, it would feel a little off. But you do this very over-the-top scene where he's singing and mouthing the words and we have quick cuts of his face and all that. You know exactly what you're in for the rest of this movie.
Yeah, and it's like, it does the typical, like, this is what I always like about Edgar Wright's movies, is he knows how to make a movie fun, funny, but still keep it a serious story. Because that was the thing. I remember when I originally saw the Shaun of the Dead trailer, I just remember seeing it in theaters, and it was just like fucking like teenager going like, fuck this, they're gonna make fun of Night of the Living Dead, what the fuck do they think they are? And then you watch it like, oh no, it's not doing that at all. I think just the trailer didn't sell the movie very well. But then you realize it's like, no, it's a serious zombie story. It just happens to have two kind of goofy characters in it. And that's what makes it funny. And it's like, oh, okay. And then, it's the same thing with Hot Fuzz. It's a serious cop story, just with two goofy characters in it. And I think that's the right way to sort of do it, is to keep the story serious, just have your characters have fun with it instead. Because if you make the whole thing, then it just turns to a slapstick.
I'll say that I feel Edgar Wright is also, he's not only just like a very good writer, I think he's actually a very like stylish director. Like his look, like what makes Shaun of the Dead. I think a lot of people kind of go into Shaun of the Dead and they like the movie, they think it's funny, and they get the jokes. But I also think that a lot of people, I think like more like the reason why film fans like him so much is all the little tiny details he puts into the Cornetto trilogy. Like the idea that like each one of those movies, somewhere in the first act, they spell out what's going to happen throughout the movie. You're not going to catch it the first time. It'll be a conversation where they're talking hypothetically or talking about something else. Like, oh, he just said the whole plot of the rest of the movie right there. Or
yeah, but you just don't take it.
Or so many callbacks that keep on coming. Or how he used Queen and the whole like they made it look like a Queen concert in the whole battle scene. And when they're at the bar in Shaun of the Dead, and they're playing having a good time. It's all matching perfectly and all that. And every so often I'll hear people say like, it's actually something popped up recently, and I'm not sure where it is, because it's something I never heard up until when this movie comes out, and it's something I use the same exact phrase I hear among people when they talk about Edgar Wright, saying it's more style over substance. And I don't fucking feel that at all, because I feel like he's making genre movies, and it's like, we've seen these 1,000 times before. These are genre movies. They kind of get to the point. They know what they're supposed to do. They know that you're here to see X, Y, and Z. This action movie, this comedy, partial horror film, and we're going to do really good at that. So,
Well, also, too, it's like, for all my Edgar Wright movies, none of them are in the comedy section. That's how I feel. I feel like the comedy is almost second to him, because I know some people think of them as being comedies. I'm like, no, really, first and foremost, he's making, Hot Fuzz. That's a straight-up action movie. It just has funny elements in it, no different than, like, Lethal Weapon 2, or even Die Hard. So it's like, boom, I just slap it in there. And what I just like about him is you just get, like, this full movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk about getting, like, a package of just so many different things at once, but not being overwhelmed, but getting, like, I'm going to get some action. I'm going to get some comedy. I'm going to get a little bit of drama. I'm going to get cool soundtrack. I'm going to get a cool visual look. Because he's one of those kind of guys that, like, you could really probably hand him any, like, property, and he would make a awesome version of it. Because I think, one, he could understand it, but he would know how to put the mix of both fun with, seriousness mixed together. And I really think of him, he's really in the same category as, like, Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. Like, that's how I kind of look at Edgar Wright. He's like the British version of those guys. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's also what King Arthur director, Snatch director.
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. He's kind of in that same, like, ballpark, too, because they both all kind of have, like, that fun flair, stylish, choices. And you could really probably hand them any genre and they could do it. And, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's weird when somebody doesn't really care. I mean, we're all going to have our different choices and directors, but to say that, like, oh, it's just kind of a lackluster movies or, Edgar Wright films, I've never heard that. I mean, you say that.
I've heard it's most of the criticisms I've heard, it's still movies likable. They said, look, it's not that original of a story. It does good at this and that, but people are overly praised. I've heard some of that, but at the same time, they still gave it mostly a positive review. But at the exact same time, just because what you just said, I think you kind of nailed it on the head better than I did. I think that something people don't give him credit for is because when you went to go see, say, the Cornetto trilogy, you thought you were just going to see, so let's just take Shaun of the Dead, because that's probably the most popular one. You thought you were just going to see a zombie comedy. But it works on all levels as a horror film. It works as a comedy. And then on top of that, gets surprisingly emotional, and it doesn't feel forced or anything. Even Hot Fuzz, which is, it's a parody on action movies. You watch it like, not only does it work as an action movie, it also gets dramatic in scenes, and he has a good grasp on that. Scott Pilgrim is
And it's very
And
violent.
Scott, and like in World's End, same thing. World's End, they're going on this adventure and through like on like on a beer run, and the world's ending in the process. And even though it's fun, even though the movie's definitely part comedy, it's very weird and crazy. Like I remember there's a part where shit, what part was it? I think it was the part
where they kind of have like the breakdown moment where it's like, dude, you're kind of a fucking total loser. All of us got our lives together, and you're just sitting here, wasting your time. And it's almost like you get those dramatic moments.
those dramatic moments, and then in that same movie, you get the scene where I don't remember which. It's the part where they're talking to Pierce Brosnan, and I want to say Nick Frost says, "I'm not gonna die in this fucking town." And he grabs like two stools. He starts swinging and hitting them, and I don't know what they're playing. They're playing some early hip hop song, and it's matching perfectly to all the beats and the hits and all the knocks. And then while that happens, an orchestral score starts to come in and sinks in and matches with the song perfectly. And as things are getting more intense and more serious, the hip hop song starts to fade out while the orchestral stuff starts to come in more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that level of detail right there.
Yeah.
And like Scott Pilgrim's probably his like least serious movie, but there's still, I think, some definite heart to that and a lot of attention to detail in every way. So it's like, just because he's not focusing on something that's super overly dramatic. I mean, those movies have dramatic moments in them, but he's not making something super overly dramatic or super like, he's making a very simple movie. Doesn't mean that gives him time to focus in on all these other aspects that I don't see very many other movies focus on.
No, it's one of the ones like really I was thinking about, like in 15 years, like he's only had 4 movies. Is that it?
This is the 5th one.
5th movies. 5 movies, which is just kind of like, that's not very many movies in like that amount of time period. I mean, I guess that's a movie every 3 years, but it's not exactly that calculated. That's probably about right. That's probably about 3 years ago World's End came out, I guess, but.
And he was trying to get Ant-Man made for like 6 years and then got fired.
Yeah, so there's sort of like, that's like a half one. But, for not having that many movies, it's like he's like a Tarantino that whenever one comes out, it's just like, it's instant gold. It's, generally never going to fail on you. Where some other directors, I think, that release, sometimes 2 movies a year, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing that. I'm actually more down for people releasing it, but, it's like, not always are you going to always have a perfect film. There's some directors out there where, like, you'll get something, I hate to use this one, but, like Ridley Scott, when you have, like, The Counselor, which it's just not as cool as it should be, you know what I mean? Not terrible, but not, it's got a cool Brad Pitt dying scene, but that's about it. At the end of the day, that's the only thing I really remember going like, man, that was kind of a cool scene.
I don't remember a whole lot from The Counselor. I remember the song they're playing when Brad Pitt's gonna die and the guy's chasing him. He's running through the crowd. And it's like this kind of techno song. It's like, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you.
Would you just picture like Ridley Scott like driving his car, like blasting it like in England, driving down the street,
elbow out the window, like slouch back in the seat,
like looking out, what? Fuck you! Just yelling at people,
like tailgating some car, honking them.
Scott,
I made fucking Alien.
Fuck! What do you fucking do?
Gets
out, I directed like, Aliens. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fucking James Cameron
swerves in front of him, makes him stop, pulls out the sword from Gladiator. What?
He fucking pulls out Terminator arm. Like, do you guys just carry around props from your own movies? Yes.
I'd never expect him to be this angry. Wow.
But I
just want to share this with you real quick. It goes back to Ridley Scott. Do you know the way how he treated the xenomorph back when they were making the first Alien? It's kind of sad and creepy at the same time.
I can't remember if I saw that in the special features or not a long time ago.
Well, apparently what he did is he got this dude to play the xenomorph, and he wanted people scared of the xenomorph. They didn't want to be like, oh, here comes Frank. Let's take a quick picture. Oh, no, he's attacking me. He didn't want him. He thought that if they were friendly with the xenomorph, then the xenomorph would like they wouldn't be, it would show through their performance they weren't that scared of it. So he didn't want that. He didn't want anybody really talking or interacting with the guy, and the guy
just put him like in a cage, just like stay in your gimp suit.
You're not far off. He actually had him staying in a separate hotel from the rest of them, and then when he came in, he would be driven in separately, and then he would put the suit on in a different room. And then when it was time for him to come out, he'd come out. They do the scene. He says like, all right, Frank, go sit in your chair. and they made this little swing chair for him. This little, because it's weird. It's a weird suit to fit in. This little kind of like chair to swing in, and he just could sit in the chair and wait until like it was just
That's a little scary enough. I
And
just picture like a xenomorph sitting in like a swing, like in a park.
Yeah, and they'd have to be. And nobody was allowed to talk to him. He wasn't allowed to talk to anybody because he wanted people to be scared and put off by him. And he wasn't,
Mhm.
you know. So he wanted him to keep his talking to him minimal. So that is like really kind of it's like that's I feel bad for the guy in the xenomorph suit, but at the same time though, just like it's kind of funny and scary, but just seeing this like tall black alien just swinging back and forth in this little chair, just looking at you from the set, or just even sadder, just kind of looking down at the ground like I went to acting school for this.
Yeah. If anybody says I went to acting school to do this and I'm a xenomorph and they're ashamed of it.
Well, at the time, they didn't know what they were going to be. At the time, they didn't know that was like, ooh,
Yes,
spooky,
that's true.
spooky alien movie.
Still. I wouldn't put down anybody. If you're gonna put on an alien costume of any kind, it's all good.
Mhm. Well, anyway, so back to Edgar Wright, though. I don't know. I want to see the movie again. Definitely, I actually wouldn't mind. But I don't know if I'd say I like it as much as any of his other movies, but I still really love this movie. I got to watch it again though before, because his movies always need another watch because there's so many little things you get the second, third, fourth time around.
Hmm. Well, and this one too, I think is the other ones. I mean, like Scott Pilgrim, it's based off the book, so you kind of got that to back it up. And then the other ones, they kind of like built up, so you kind of it's like, the Simon Pegg, Nick Frost like cast, you just kind of came to really enjoy. So I feel if this one being kind of all fresh characters, you know what I mean? It's cool. You got like Flea in there, and you got Jamie Foxx, and you got fucking what's his name playing the main boss guy?
Kevin Spacey,
Kevin Spacey,
John Hamm.
So it's like you got a lot of these guys in there just to like get really into it. But it is once again fresh characters. You don't know any of these people. You don't really know anything like this. You don't really even know what they expect. Except for from the trailer. But even that trailer doesn't really tell you 100% on what's going on.
Well, this movie, like, I was kind of because I listened to an interview with Edgar Wright and Kevin Smith, and I'm kind of glad to see he kind of lived up to some of his words, because he said like one of his movie he loved was From Dusk Till Dawn, and he said that I almost wish they did not advertise the vampires. I wish you just went into that and just didn't realize you're seeing a vampire movie. And this movie doesn't do that entirely, but it definitely does a bait and switch thing with the villains. And it even kind of sets it up in the narrative. Like, because I really liked what this movie does is they kind of introduce, like, when they have Kevin Spacey, he has this, like, he does seem kind of like he's going to be the main villain to a certain extent, but he also, you can see he likes Baby. You can see he likes...
He's still like a slight fatherly figure.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, like, I'll say his switch at the end seemed a little sudden, but at the same time, I kind of get it, And then...
It's like, I was in love once.
Yeah.
It just like turns, holding the shotgun.
Yeah, I get it. No, but then they kind of like made Jamie Foxx the villain, and then like I heard some people complain about this because Jamie Foxx, he's like probably one of the best parts of this movie, and what I like about him is he can come off sinister, creepy, scary as fuck, kind of like the Joker, sort of, and then he can like he's being your best friend, and he's being super nice to you, but it's all for the wrong reason, and you know it.
Yeah, no, I like that. But it's kind of weird because they knock off Jamie Foxx, and not early, but they get him off at like the 3/4 mark, maybe I would say, like earlier than you expect. Let's just say that. And then you almost, it's almost like the side character is like the one who becomes like the main villain, which is kind of odd to think. But the character you don't even think, you think he's I actually didn't expect him to come back, because once it was like, oh, okay, because he has, or Kevin Spacey mentions like, we always work with a different crew. And so I just assumed like, oh, that's it, which I was kind of bummed because I wish Flea would have came back. Out of all those characters, I'm like, why can't Flea be back? Can Flea be there the whole time?
Yeah, the only consistent member whenever he does a job is Baby.
So he's there, and as it kind of goes on to this heist where they're like, we're going to rob the post office and take all their money orders and things like that, which is like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's different. You don't see that in every movie. You know what I mean? It's not just your regular heist. It's not just your regular, let's go, after this or that. It's like, okay, money orders. That's something a little bit different. And as they go on to this heist, this is kind of where they start to question Baby. Like, is he fucking down for this? Is he, serious about all this? Can we trust this guy? And they even find that, like, well, I guess he has these, like, mixtapes that he makes off of all these, like, old kind of, like, DJ-esque, like, classic 70s and 80s tools. And he just records stuff throughout the day. But, of course, when they find this stuff, they're like, oh, what the fuck? He's recording all our conversations? He must be the fucking narc.
And then when he literally says to him, like, no, I just make mixtapes and, like, make songs out of conversations. Like, it's gotta be true or the stupidest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard. And sure enough, they find it, like, it's true. Okay. They're all, like, a little thrown off, And it's one of those things I'll say that in that movie, because what happens is they present it like he doesn't want to be there. They try and present him as he's like the nicest guy possible, and he's got his arm twisted into working for all of them. And John Hamm and his girlfriend, who I don't remember the actress's name, but she plays the Salma Hayek character from Dusk Till Dawn TV show. They're a couple, and they're both kind of like, they're not like best buds with Baby, but they're the ones that are kind of a little nicer to Baby. They're the ones that are just kind of like, he's just a kid, but he does a good job, and we like him. We're glad when we work with him because he knows what he's doing, and he's
and Jamie Foxx just hates.
He just hates everybody. He because he likes to be the crazy wild one, and he just seems like, oh, so this some kid who doesn't like to actually get his hands dirty is the one we're all praising, huh? Just getting jealous about like this 22-year-old kid,
Yeah.
But they always kind of get the John Hamm character and the girl. John Hamm's character name is Buddy. The girl's name is Darling, and they are always cool with Baby. But then, like, I think that his progression when Buddy slowly starts to become the main villain, it actually is a very realistic and in some ways kind of an understandable progression of how they get there, because
everything makes sense of like why he would hate fucking babies, because in a sense it's like he was this real nice guy to him, and then in a sense Baby just kind of screws him over, not of his own doing necessarily, but it just sort of happens that way.
And like it happens because at first when he decides he wants to get out, he gets out and John Hamm Buddy cuts him off and says like, are you planning to leave us? He's like, no, I'm just like going to get coffee. Like, I'll get coffee at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that makes sense. And he's like, look, if you're not in this, then get out because we don't need you messing it up. So if you're going to do it, stay. But if you're going to go, just keep going. And that's a very cool, understanding thing. I think it was something kind of like that. Do you remember it being like that?
Yeah, it's pretty much just
and
like
then
that.
That's when Jamie Foxx cuts in. He says, hey, before you go, let's talk about this. And holds up a tape recorder. And that's where John Hamm's like, wait, what the fuck? And then he's like, okay. And he's not like, he doesn't hate him, but he's a little thrown off by the whole thing. Like, okay, so he's doing this. He's a little more off than we thought. And then when he leaves he gets mad. Like, Jamie Foxx has gone full tilt psycho. And he just, I don't remember what he's trying to do, what he's doing, but he just keeps on punching and kind of hitting Baby to the point where Baby kills him by driving the car into a rear-ending another car, a tow truck, and just Jimmy Fox gets impaled. So the rest of them are like, Baby, what the fuck? And and then they all kind of split up their own ways, and while trying to get away, Baby accidentally rear ends them. They get the girl gets shot up by the cops, and then it becomes his personal mission to hunt down Baby, and he's like now the main villain of the movie. And that's I give them credit for doing that because I've never seen that before.
No, yeah, because that's like, as I said, like that's not like who you would have thought it would have been, Jamie Foxx. I mean, when you see it, it's not like it throws you off. It's just like, oh, it does seem natural, but I did not see it coming. The one thing that did kind of like not really like throw me off, but this is how I thought the movie was going to go, and then it turned out it didn't, is I thought the movie was actually going to be like the whole like last act was going to be like them on the run in a sense, like because they keep, Baby meets this girl in this diner or whatever, and this is where like the true romance part kind of just reminds me of. It's just like she likes music. She like wants to just get out of this town and just drive as far as possible to the West Coast from Atlanta, Georgia, or whatever. And so they both have this in common. So they keep talking about it. So I just kept thinking, it's like, oh fuck, that's what's gonna happen. Is they're gonna kind of go and they're gonna drive and they're gonna think that Buddy's dead, and then he was gonna come back, somewhere down the line and find him, and that would have been like the final like battle. And it's like, instead, the movie kind of like, I felt like it just sort of like, oh, okay, it just doesn't leave the town necessarily. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. So it kind of made me feel like it pulled me back for a second. It's like, oh, I guess the movie's a little bit shorter than I thought. Like, I don't know what it was. I expected to go like one more step farther and just keep going before they went anywhere. And then also to top it off too, it's like, I didn't expect them to have that kind of ending where it's like, oh, fuck, baby just gets arrested. You know, that's just kind of how it goes down at the end.
Well, he also gets out too, so it's not like a super sad ending.
Well, no, yeah, but he still goes to jail for like 5 years.
He goes for 5 years, but you're kind of it gets on that. It's better than the alternative, I guess, because first like 25 years, chance of parole, and then every so often he'll have like this black and white vision of himself, like getting with the girl's name is Deborah, and getting with her, and into an old-fashioned 1950s car, and just getting in the car together and leaving. And it starts off like that, him walking out of prison, but then it all comes into color. So it's like, oh, he did get out because it's reality and all that. So
yeah, so it's like it does have like that. So I mean, like it still works out, but that kind of threw me off a little bit too. It's like, oh, okay, not saying it's a bad thing, but that was just not what I expected. Like I kind of expected it more to like continuously keep going or something like that.
And they kind of get across to like multiple people that he bumps into throughout this heist. He kind of tries to warn him or tries to work around him or tries to get them out of the way. And he interacts with these different people. And those are the people that ultimately end up saving him, kind of, because during his court case, you're like, yeah, he was doing the wrong thing, but he actually was trying to like warn me to stay out of it, or he gave me a heads up, or he gave me a warning to turn the other way before the heist started. So it's kind of like, okay, so that all came around for a reason,
Mm-hmm. And it had that, and then also too, because he also had like his he was living up this like old black guy that was kind of like, I guess, like his techno adopted father, and he was taking care of him, and they were living together and whatnot. And this kind of was like, because baby generally doesn't speak that often, and you can almost see kind of why. It's like, well, he's hanging out with this guy, and this guy, he's pretty much blind and deaf almost, so they talk in sign language just enough. And what I like too is I thought that when Jamie Foxx went to go get the mixtapes, that they're like, oh fuck, they're gonna kill that guy, because like in any other movie they would have just killed that guy there, but instead I like how the guy survives. Mm-hmm. And then he's able to take him. He's like, oh, I gotta take you to like this retirement home because shit's going down, and I'm not gonna be here to protect you like I said I was. But I thought that was just kind of cool, because I was just afraid that there was gonna be like in any other movie they would have killed the old man. You know what I mean? And that would have been like the Uncle Ben, I guess you could say, of the film.
I was gonna. Okay.
And I like they didn't do it though.
I was gonna say I really like the part where for about a good like maybe multiple parts in the first 2 minutes, first 2 acts of the movie, they have like a lot of scenes where it's just baby and his music, where it's just kind of like he realized, oh, he took a bit of this conversation, made a mixtape out of it, and then like just him just kind of almost listening to music, being all kind of upbeat and all happy. And this is where the musical aspect of the movie comes in, where I think because him almost kind of dancing and kind of moving to the beat of music while he's making lunch for his foster father, or he's kind of getting excited going to see the girl Deborah and just trying to learn her routine, kind of stalkerish, but he's a good guy, so. And they even kind of like fit in, like there's a whole action scene where Jamie Foxx goes to get more guns, and the whole like deal goes bad, not because anybody else, because Jamie Foxx is a fucking psycho in the movie, and baby's listening to Tequila. And then the gunshots and the action almost go on beat with the song.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff in it, and like realistically, it's just like I don't know what there is like not to like about this film. I feel like everything about it is just fun, good action, amazing action, not even just good action, amazing action. The soundtrack's phenomenal, just using a bunch of tracks that you just don't hear. Like I just kind of like how they can just throw all these random tracks out there that just would probably have not gotten airplay in so long.
It's also one of those things where I think this movie, to bring it back around, kind of like how I said the John Hamm character, how he starts off as being friendly and cool to baby. Like there's a couple times he pulls him aside, he's just having a chat with him, like, oh dude, you like Queen? Oh yeah, I used to listen to Queen all the time with my brother and this and that. And then he's the main villain. That does another thing where I think the further baby gets into it, the movie almost darkens, because it starts off on this upbeat kind of, you can tell it's an R-rated movie, but a lot more of an upbeat, fun vibe to it. And then as it goes on, the more Jimmy Fox just kind of looming over Baby, it almost becomes his show for a minute. And the tone of the movie gets so much darker and gets so much more serious. I felt like that scene where they're going like, Jimmy Fox, he's just on it. It's just his night on the town. He's just like, hey, we want to get some gum? Yeah, let's pull into this let's pull into this like liquor mart. They go in there, and then like John Hamm and Buddy and Darling are talking, and then all of a sudden, Jimmy Fox comes in with a big box of gum. He's like, you bought the whole thing gum? Bought? Fuck no, I wasn't gonna pay for this shit. And Baby looks, and like the guy at the counter is no longer there. It's like he just fucking killed this guy for gum, you know? And then later, they're going by a diner that Deborah works at, and Jimmy Fox like, pull in there. Baby keeps on driving. Like, why not there? He's like, the food sucks. Like, I said pull over. We're going to pull over in there. So then since they go in there, that's where he's trying to figure out, why doesn't Baby want to go here? I wonder why. You know, and when they go in there, he's looking around. He's trying to spot things out. And Deborah kind of realizes, oh, shit, this is people he works with. This is bad company right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, the cool thing too is she's smart enough not to like say anything stupid because, you know, once again, like in another movie, you could have made that character do some dumb stuff, and she just stays smart the whole time, which is nice. And what I also noticed too is because when that movie started off, like I was like, is this movie a PG-13 movie or an R-rated movie? Because for the first while, it came across as almost, and I think this is probably intentional, is like a PG-13 movie. Like it didn't have any rated R stuff going on in it until shit started going down, and then it became a rated R movie. And I thought that was kind of a cool way too, because nowadays too is like, I saw a lot of times I forget, it's like, is this movie R, PG-13? I just show up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, realistically, you kind of expect it to be a rated R of Edgar Wright, but with Scott Pilgrim, it's not saying that it couldn't be PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that kind of progression too. It's not just like it just starts off like R right off the bat.
But that part when they go into the diner with her, though, I like that scene so much because it seems almost like a scene out of Inglourious Bastards. Kind of like Jamie Foxx is almost kind of like the Jew hunter, and he's almost just trying to interrogate them by trying to be kind, because he's being sort of friendly with him. He's putting his arm around Baby, be like, "Hey man," and his character's name's Bats too. Bats is putting his arm around him, be like, "Hey man, well, this place cool. Don't you like it?" Looking around, he just like, you could tell he's just like planning some shit. And I like that he starts to kind of like pick at Buddy, and he doesn't exactly say what it is, but you can see that this is where the dark side of Buddy starts to show, because he says like, I can tell what you guys are. Are you a Wall Street guy who just got in too deep and just lost all your money, so now you're just going hard at it trying to get that money back? Are you a guy who does this? You go on. You got a whole other family. This is your side girl you fuck, and this is you guys just on your vacation, your time together. Or do you have like a coke habit or a drinking habit? It's got to be one of these things. He's just listing them off, and you see like, you don't know which one it is, but you see like John Hamm just stone facing this guy, just like, I'm ready to kill this motherfucker, because he just hit one of those things. Is exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. And it just keeps kind of going through the list. But no, I think that is kind of cool, just that little buildup of all those kind of things throughout the day. And it even gets to the point, too, it's pretty much where they realize is because Jamie Foxx is going to shoot Deborah right in the head, like as they leave, because that's just what he does when he goes to places. Mm-hmm. And then that's where Baby stops him.
He grabs him by the gun, like, not here. Like, oh, not here. Why is that? Okay. Pay that bitch. Like, walks out.
Like, it's no big deal, whatever.
Just like whenever he goes somewhere to eat or drink, he just shoots him in the head as he leaves.
Yeah, exactly. Just leaving a trail of bodies. But no, overall, that Baby Driver, though, super phenomenal movie.
I bet I can go on it. That's like a get it on Blu-ray day one kind of movie.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And hopefully I'll have sweet special features like most Edgar Wright movies do.
Yeah, he always goes into it. That's why he's like one of those guys, like, I almost want to just rebuy Scott Pilgrim just for Blu-ray, because I got that one on DVD, because I know he's got a lot more.
Because the Blu-ray one has like a ridiculous amount of special features on it too. Mm-hmm. It's totally worth getting it for that. Or like the Hot Fuzz 3-disc version.
Got that, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, it's just like that's the great thing about his stuff. He always has all kinds of cool special features, which is a lot of times missing in so many movies nowadays. Unlike somebody like Michael Bay, who puts like no special features on his movies sometimes.
He used to, but I just think like, you know what we did? Set up some fucking explosions. CG'd some robots. Boom.
Well, I think it's also, too, I think the second that, like, oh, special features aren't in, fuck them, we're not doing them anymore. I think it was probably that.
Yeah, I can see.
It was like, when the movies first came out, it was kind of like the special features thing was still kind of like a big deal. Like, you got to have the special edition. But right now, it seems like special features are kind of a dead market. So I think that it's like, hey, if the special features aren't going to make you more money, fuck.
Well, I think it's also one of those things we can charge them like $30 for the Blu-ray with or without special features. They'll still get it. I think it's also one of those things.
I think it's what it is. Just like, I think a lot of times they just don't feel like putting the money in.
And I also feel like, I think that not even Quentin Tarantino has a whole lot of special features. Like, he might have one or two cool ones that really kind of focus in on like an aspect that most special features don't think about. But for the most part, his are pretty bare bones now too. I mean, Hateful Eight didn't really have a whole lot on it.
Yeah, Hateful Eight was pretty lazy, I thought, as far as special features. I was kind of bummed about that. It had like maybe 15 minutes in total of like special features.
Django Unchained didn't have a whole lot. I mean, there was some cool stuff on there.
It had a little bit more, but not.
I want to say the last one that had a lot was probably Kill Bill Volume 1. Beyond.
Yeah, that one had quite a bit, but it just always comes because you want, like, movies. I feel like those kind of like very director-oriented movies, you want special features. Like, that's what you want to have. And then it's always kind of a bummer when it's like, oh, I want to see all this extra stuff and you don't got anything to show me now. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it could be that way. But I think that this is one that actually will have a bit more to it. Tell me, going back to that movie for a minute, the part when it's kind of the opening credits. They have the opening job. They're playing bell bottoms. And then then later he's getting coffee for the group, and he's walking through town, listening to his headphones, kind of bobbing his head, just kind of almost dancing, almost kind of moving with the music. And he was listening to, I believe it was Harlem Shuffle. Did you notice, as he walked by certain buildings and signs, there's graffiti to the words to the song in certain spots?
Yeah, I did kind of notice.
Like, wasn't every single word. And he there's a part when like a brass horn comes in the song. He stops in front of a brass horn shop for a second. So
yeah, there's a music.
So it's like those kind of like crazy details. I mean, Scott Pilgrim's got even more of that. Like, say there was like in something like every X in Scott Pilgrim has something on them and signifying their number. Like the girl, the ninja girl, I think she was X number 4, X number 5. I don't remember which one she was. But the ninja girl, she had like 5 straps around her, or 5, like multiple 5 things around her at all times. The number 7 had 7 different rings or something like that. So it's always all these small, weird little details like that.
Yeah, just those tiny details that you probably might not even notice in a handful of watches and things
it's that
like
type of shit. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's literally something someone else had to point out. But once they point it out, you're like, oh wow, that is really good details right there.
Yeah, those are always those kind of weird ones too. It's like, oh, I mean, that's pretty cool. And it's not like, I guess it takes that much effort. It sounds like when you kind of hear about it, you're like, that just sounds like so much. Like, why would you go to so much effort? It's like, well, it's not that much extra work. Put fucking 7 rings on.
It also makes sense though. It sounds like, I'm not sure if it was 7 rings, but it was something like that. He had 7 different things. He had things like number 7 on him somewhere. It was just one of those things where you kind of hear someone who's that like passionate about their work, and it kind of makes you want to see more of what they make. And just going back to this, I believe don't get me wrong, Michael Bay's a fantastic cinematographer. He has his sets always look great. His shots look great. When there's explosions and all that going on, they look great. And I think that's because that's his passion. The cars, the explosions, the action. It's clearly not the fucking story, because I don't know why. I'm not like a hardcore Transformers fan here, but I don't know why the fuck Hot Rod is French.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that. That one threw me off. I was like, okay, that just felt like we needed a French character. Polls say we need a French character. Like,
because
Polls also say we need Hot Rod in this movie. Well, you know what to do then. Combine the two together.
It's one of those things like I'm not even like, it's not one of those things like, he should be all American. He's an American character, so you best get an American to do that voice. It's just, it's not even that it's like, oh, he's got kind of a semi-French accent or kind of a Cajun accent. He's like, I am French. Hot Rod. What? Hot Rod. Like, what's he saying? His name is Hot Rod. Hot Rod. He's got that accent. I hate my accents. It's like so cartoonish. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like a French guy watched. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised he's not chasing around like another car trying to fuck it. Like, get over here, my darling.
Yeah. Wee wee. He's just like floating and kind of like sniffing the air for like
fumes. He's chasing a VW bug, like a pink VW bug. Like, oh.
Or no, he'd be chasing what's a fucking French car?
Yeah,
Citron.
just be
You could
chasing
throw a
it down.
Citron in
I'm
there.
gonna fuck you.
But yeah, it is that kind of weird thing. Well, when I talk about a movie that like I wish had special features, it's a Michael Bay one. It's Pain and Gain, because that's the movie. It's like it feels like here's a real director's movie, and it's got no fucking special features. Now once again, it could be Fox or whatever the fuck produced it, but still, it's just one of those ones like, dude, like that movie, like it doesn't even have an audio. It doesn't have. I don't even know if it even has a fucking trailer on it. I think it's just like that bare bones.
Where I feel that was a passion project of his because it's such a weird, obscure story. And apparently, I don't know how true it is, but based on a true story to a certain extent. And Transformers, I honestly feel like that's just like they're making money, just keep on doing it. You get a bonus of whatever of every toy or whatever comes out, just keep cranking that shit out. And I feel like something like whether you love it or hate it, I think something like Pain and Gain, it is like he actually tones back on the explosions and all that, but it still is a lot of the shit he likes to shoot, like Hot Woman, cars, action, very like bright sunset type environments and settings. He likes things at sunset and like sunrise. I noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's definitely all that kind of stuff in there. But just saying, it's like just a bummer when you don't get special features. Like per example, is like on some of these other movies I was watching, like I got like the Juice, like the 15th anniversary one. Dude, that one had fucking like an hour and a half worth of fucking special features, or maybe it's the 20th anniversary. Fuck.
The Juice.
Yeah. It's a
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It's actually a really good movie. It's a Tupac movie, and what it is, it's like, okay, it starts off as just kind of like, oh, here's a bunch of these like teenager guys hanging out in New York, having good times, everything like that. And then when shit goes dark, you realize it's like, oh my god, it's a slasher movie where Tupac is hunting down all his own friends.
Oh damn!
It goes like this like dark twist, and it's like, well, that's a pretty cool idea. Like, it just started off as just like a buddy movie. And then just have it where shit finally starts to go down. And in this process, you kind of feel bad because really like the one main character is just like, I just kind of want to be like a DJ. I'm getting everything good. And I got this, contest going on tonight. I'm going to go down there and everything like that. And his buddy's just like, fuck that. We're going to go rob the liquor store. You better come with us. It's just like that's where you should realize, no, those are your shitty friends. The friends that when you're trying to do a DJ competition and they say, fuck that, we're gonna go rob a liquor store, you better be in or you're not friends anymore. That's when it's like, okay, leave those friends fucking behind.
Yeah, that is kind of like the ultimatum right there. Man, follow my dreams or liquor store. Fuck.
And they're just saying that they're like, yeah, we can use your DJ competition as our cover. Because if anybody asks, where are you guys at? We're at a DJ competition.
Those guys die, I'm guessing.
They pretty much kind of goes through and it, it's like they kind of, each one gets kind of picked off as time goes on because that's what happens.
Does he ever make it to the DJ competition?
Well, he wins one round and then they kind of go to that and then shit goes down and then it goes to like the final battle area or whatnot. So you don't know.
Does the main guy make it out alive?
He does make it out alive.
That's good. That's good.
Well, it's kind of cool because on the special features they talked about, because they had two different endings. Like they had like original ending. I mean, Tupac dies at the end, but in the original ending, it's when shit goes down, the cops are coming up the building and he's like hanging off the edge, fucking like in Batman '89. It's it's just like that, and he's holding
green screened and all.
Yeah, and he's held on and stuff. And he in the original version, like Tupac's like, he says it better than this, but he's just kind of like, I ain't fucking going to jail. My dad went there. Nothing good's going on. I'd rather fucking die. And then he lets go on his own doing. But for some reason, test audience didn't like him. For some reason, the movie company putting it out was like, no, you got to change it. He's a bad guy. Just have him slip out instead. So they go with that ending. I'm like, I love the way like Better was like, no, he chooses this. Like, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not worth living if you have to go to jail.
I like that more, yeah.
But
this movie's called The Juice?
It's just called Juice.
Is this okay? I'm not trying to get though it's not even all that topical. I guess there's a lot of documentaries on it right now, but is it before or after OJ?
Oh, I think it's way before that. It's like 91.
Oh, okay. Then I was gonna say that like, okay, oh yeah, because
Tupac's first album hadn't even come out yet. So I don't know.
Yeah, because the whole OJ thing happened in the OJ thing happened in 94, 95.
Yeah, this is 91, so it's like way early.
Okay, So yeah,
I like this.
yeah. All
Like
right then.
they said, like Tupac came to like to the. I can't remember the reason why he was going in to like audition for this movie. Like he just maybe somebody told him like, hey, you should go try this acting thing. Oh, okay. And he's like, when he went to the audition, he's like, he auditioned really well, but then when he left, he poked his head back in. He says like, I better get this role because I know where y'all live, and then leave.
Is that in the movie?
I can't remember if somebody just talked about if the director just talked about in the special features or what, but it might have been because they had a bunch of like really cool like ones where they had the 4 main characters and it was like 15 or 20 minutes of them being like interviewed in like 1991 while shooting it. So it just had tons of special features, and that's what I mean. It's like there you go. You get this movie, you get a bunch of cool special features, makes you get really into it. You get to hear all the little stories, and it's like it's always just such a bummer when you don't get a movie that doesn't have that stuff. I'm not saying every movie has to have it, but hell, sometimes even the movies that like you don't think would have that great special features sometimes have amazing special features.
You'd be surprised. Well, like like you mentioned, Elektra had like
Elektra has some of the best special features I saw. It's like what the fuck? It's like you got to get that movie just for the special features. If you didn't even watch the movie, that's okay. Just watch the special features. It's worth it.
Because I remember actually the Daredevil director's cut. That one's pretty good. Where other Daredevil, after watching the director's cut, it's not as enjoyable as a movie as it was when I was a kid. But the special features, it has like a whole documentary on the whole history of Daredevil from like each writer and each artist like talking about him.
Yeah,
their time working with the character.
So there's all kinds of stuff like that. So, but. Yeah, that one had, I mean, like, I guess I was just watching a bunch of movies in a row that had good special features. Like, The Menace to Society had a good one. So it just talked about the Hughes brothers all, that being their first movie and how they got into movie making and so on. So it's like, come on, guys. Put out more special features.
I feel like it's one of those things where, I mean, I'm not defending it. I feel like, Hollywood producers be like, or like, just studio execs or whatever would just be like, you know what? The kids find this stuff out on their cracked articles, on the YouTubes and all that. We don't got to put that in the movie no more. I feel like that's.
I don't even think it's that. I just think it's just one of those ones like, fuck it, they aren't into it as much. I think it just came to the point where they realized that like they probably did a survey and said, okay, of everybody who bought Spider-Man 2, how many of you watched Disc 2? And they probably got a thing back that said 75% of people said they never watched Disc 2. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, I think they just kind of said, you know what, we don't need to do this anymore. Unless it's a special movie, like a Criterion collection or something like that. And I think that's kind of how the special features started to like fall back. I don't think it's that you can find out online because clearly that's not the same thing. Obviously, yeah, you can read an article, but that's not the same as like watching like a behind the scenes, You could read an article on how Jurassic Park's made, but like believe me, it's way cooler to see the behind the scenes of how Jurassic Park's made, like from a camera's perspective.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they got featurettes that come out there. Like, I mean, I've been seeing stuff for like every day I click on YouTube, I see something for Spider-Man Homecoming, which I really want to see the movie, but it's like every single time, it's like they have so many trailers, so many clips. I feel like if I put them all together, I could probably see the whole movie before it even comes out. So,
it's like, when are movies going to learn not to do that? It's like, just stop.
And the featurette, like the featurette of like I've seen like several. I mean, I don't know. I've seen like a lot of movies put out featurettes, like the making of, just the bare bones making of kind of thing, like the 5-10 minute. Well, what Tony Stark is going through in this movie, like, yeah, okay. How did you guys shoot this scene?
Yeah, I hate those kind of ones where it's like, let's just get the actor to talk. It's like there's a time and a place for those ones, but sometimes when like it's like the actor's just telling you like what you've already seen in the movie, it's like please don't. I don't need the actor to give like his like synopsis of the film. It's like, okay, can you get the director on there or somebody who's making the movie, like the writer? So somebody.
Yeah, you rarely see that anymore. So I'm not sure. It's probably just like you said. Probably most people probably just didn't want to watch it, and I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like in time this stuff comes more public and people find out more about just weird stories about that happened on the set. I'm still waiting to hear the story of what happened on the Fantastic Four set, the new one. Because that whole thing was
is that in the Blu-ray special features? Like,
it's not going to be on there. I'm not even sure if Blu-ray ever came out for that movie, but I know, I'm being an asshole. That apparently what was going on there was a whole shit fire. Like apparently, the director almost got into a fist fight with multiple people. Like some of the people weren't even talking to the director by that point. Like Josh Trank went on. Like I guess I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's Josh Trank or the actors or what, but someone went full on crazy on that set. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't really know. It's like I could probably see it coming from any direction, really, and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, see, that's a perfect example. That would make for a great documentary. Where the fuck's that documentary?
Have you ever seen? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there was a documentary I actually came across the other day because I was just waiting to like watch Lego Batman with Laura, and then she never came by. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm watching something myself. And I was like, oh, what's this becoming Bond thing? And it was pretty much a whole like story of George Lazenby of how he became Bond and like his whole life story all the way up to that. And the cool thing is he like narrated it himself, and then people just kind of had like a biopic sort of playing like during the scenes, and or they would show like footage or pictures and things like that. But this was my ultimate takeaway from that movie. There was a part where he was talking about, he's like, oh, there was this girl that I liked, and she was dating some military guy, and then it showed like a picture of like a military like propaganda poster of Australia because that's where he's from, and he's like, but they had this, in the military, you had this weird competition where, all the guys would get in a tent together at night, and then like one guy would get his dick all hard, and then they would hang their boots on it until like it would sag, and whoever could hold the most boots was like the winner.
I'm just imagining him saying that, like not in his Australian accent,
just like
proper
a 78-year-old man telling you this.
That sounds like a joke we would have came up with.
Well, the fun thing about those movies, when it started up, it said TVMA. I'm like, TVMA? I'm like, aren't I watching a fucking documentary? Like, what the fuck's this going to be about? But it was just like one of those ones where it's just like, it'd be like, oh, there was the, because it'd be like, there's the girl I first loved. And then it would just show him like fucking the car. It's just like, oh, okay, that's the kind of TVMA we're getting to. Oh. And it was just like, it was the 60s. And there's a part too where he's like, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and it just shows him talking and stuff. He's like, yeah, man, you got to like fucking try out for this kind of movie.
Are they just like motioning without actually talking, or are they actually?
Sometimes it would show him talking. It's because sometimes it'd be kind of like a biopic, and then almost have like the narration over from George Lazenby, and then it shows George Lazenby like listening, like, oh yeah, that sounds good, and then it just kind of cuts to like a wide shot, and it's like they're just fucking the same chick together. It's just like that's just the kind of lifestyle we had.
What's called Becoming Bond?
It's called Becoming Bond. It's exclusive to Hulu, I think.
I need to look that one up.
It was on the Hulu's like list of stuff, but no, it was really cool because it was like, I mean, like I sort of knew like the kind of like stuff from just the special features on 007, but it went more into detail. Like, he was just a guy who like didn't pass high school in Australia. He worked as a mechanic. Didn't like doing the mechanic thing, so he became a car salesman. At first he had no idea what the fuck he was doing. Then he just realized that, oh, if I just don't talk and just listen, I can just sell cars left and right. So he was doing that. And then he kind of falls in love with this girl who's sort of like some kind of rich, like uppity Australian chick or whatnot. And she has to go to school in London and leave. And he's like, well, fuck that. I guess I'll just go follow her there. And so he goes to England on like a boat. This is what you do in like the 50s or maybe even early 60s by this point. And he follows her there. And as kind of turn of events goes, he becomes a car salesman again because he needs some more money in England. And some guy comes up to him and goes, hey, I'll buy that car if you allow me to take photos of you. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, take photos of me? What are you, a fag? And he's like, oh, no, dude. He's like, I want you to, be a model. It's the end thing now. It's like, the brawnier men. That's what's in. So he just becomes a male model because of this. And then that kind of strings him into getting the audition to go to 007. And I think the reason why I really got it is because all these other actors thought like, oh, I have to get this. This is what my life depends on. He's like, I didn't really give a fuck. So I could just kind of show up there and just say whatever was on my mind and just like have that attitude. And they liked it because it was different. Everybody else was, trying to like be as Sean Connery and be in his like, trying to just emulate as much. And I was just doing my own thing.
Because he's the only Bond that had one movie.
Yeah, and it's like, in my opinion, that's one of my top 5 favorite 007s. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I think it might even be one of my top 3. I like it that much.
Is that one where, well, the thing about that, you said it's an experimental one. Has he been in a lot of movies since 007?
I don't really think so. I don't think because he's, he was one of those ones, it's like 007 was his first acting gig. And other than that, though, he wasn't really into it because he turned it down. Like, they were going to give him, like, oh, dude, we're going to give you fucking 6 movies, $1 million. You're going to fucking, like, take it all. And he's like, he looked at the contract. He's like, no, I don't want to have to, like, be, like, looking like Bond everywhere I go, being like that. He's like, I want to kind of be myself, do my own things.
So that's awesome. I thought they gave him the boot because people didn't like him. But that's good to know. He just turned it down. Like, I don't need this shit.
Award winning and everything like that. I think it's just I think that just kind of came from people going, like, he was only in one. It's probably because it fucking sucked. I think that's where that attitude came. So no, he turned it down.
Back for 2 more, right? And they brought Connery back for 2 more after him.
No, just 1 more technically. I mean, 2 more when you count the one in the 80s, but for some reason they don't count that one in the 80s. I count it, but
Thunder.
No, never say never again.
Never say never again. Yeah.
But So like he turns it down. And it's like, it's like the thing is, they even had interviews. Like he was like Johnny Carson or something like that. He's like, so would you rather be playing Bond or selling cars? And he's like, I'd rather be selling cars. I just did the acting thing because it was just something to do. It was fun. And then he went off. He raced motocross. It's like that's still something big. So he's like extreme sports guy of like the 70s.
That's pretty awesome. Knowing that he just turned down like, nah, I don't need this shit. It was cool. It was fun while it lasted. Like, I think that's so much cooler than the guy rather than just trying to latch onto it and just be like, no, this is my thing. Being kind of like, that was fun. Next thing.
Yeah, I have to give him total props for that. It's like, dude, that's way cool. You know what I mean?
Just the way he lives his life, he might be one of my favorite Bonds now.
Yeah, and as I said, like, I kid you not, that movie's always been one of my favorite ones. So that just makes me like him even more. I'm like, dude, I need like a George Lazenby poster up on my wall for inspiration now. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's a fucking inspirational story right there. I mean, like, there is a lot of luck kind of involved in it, but it is one of those ones, like, guy doesn't have to finish high school, could just live life at, like, however he feels and whatnot, and, just goes on adventures, and, yeah, fucking... I thought that was pretty darn cool.
Have you I was gonna mention this documentary right here because we're talking about movies that had trouble shooting. Have you ever seen the movie Island of Lost Souls?
No, I don't think I ever have.
All right, have you ever seen the I guess it was Marlon Brando's last movie, Island of Dr. Monroe?
I have a long time ago. I don't really remember that one though, but I remember seeing it on like Turner Classic back in the day.
It was on Turner Classic. We're talking about the '90s one, right?
Yeah, it was on one of those stations. Yeah, like the last movie he did.
I'm surprised that's on Turner Classic Movies.
Because I thought it was like an '80s movie, but maybe you're
it's
right.
Early '90s. It's early '90s.
Because every once in a while they play '80s movies on there, and I almost felt like, even as a kid, I felt like I need to call Turner's Classic Movies and go, that is not '80s is not like a classic movie by that standard. Like that is like practically brand new compared to everything else you got going on. When they had Evil Dead 2 on there, I thought that was odd.
That seems, yeah, because I guess I think...
I love Evil Dead 2, but it's like, that to me was like practically having just a modern movie. You could have showed Gladiator on there. Like, that would have felt so... It's like, no. Reserve this for, like, even 70s movies I thought were kind of pushing on Turner Classic Movies. I'm like, you got a whole, like... 60 years worth of stuff you can just pull from left and right. Like, be that channel. Everybody else is going to be playing these 70s and up. You play 60s and back.
I thought, like, the oldest thing I thought I see on, the newest thing I see on there is like Getaway by Sam Peckinpah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like, what, 68?
Yeah. So I thought that'd be like the oldest thing you see on there, but I know that they're playing Miyazaki one time. But anyway, the Island of Dr. Monroe, the 90s one, it was... At the time, I'm not sure how people feel about it now, but at the time, it was considered to be one of the worst movies ever made. And there's this whole documentary on it and called Island of Lost Souls, which is interesting as fuck. And basically, they have this British director, who's either British, maybe he was Australian, but this director who made 3 weird independent horror films. And they said, and he had this vision for making Island of Dr. Monroe a movie and making the most craziest, weirdest, fucked up movie. And you can see traces of it because it was like, they had like pig people walking around with 6 tits, and there's some visually odd, weird stuff going on in that movie. But you find out that the guy went in there, he was kind of overwhelmed by the studio heads. They kind of bullied him, and there's some aspects he was just kind of like not taking it that seriously. Mm-hmm. And at some point he was in like Val Kilmer. He was just coming off of Batman. And this is when Val Kilmer was being a total prick to everybody. And he's just like, I'm Val Kilmer. I can do whatever I want. And originally he was brought in.
I'm the Lizard Man. I'm the Bat Lizard. I can do whatever I want. He's like dressed up as half Jim Morrison, half like Batman. Like, look who I am. You weren't in these movies, were you?
Well, that's the thing about like Jim Morrison. That's the thing about Val Kilmer is I don't even think he's that good. He did a good job as Doc Holliday. He was a good Jim Morrison. Beyond that, it just seems kind of like he's sleepwalking his way through everything. So
yeah, well, it's like I like a Val Kilmer movie. Whenever Val Kilmer's in a movie, I mostly always dig it. But he isn't like he's definitely like not like an actor that feels like he tries like really hard, and more just like he shows up and you get what you get. And like most of the time, it's like decent enough, and he's charming, and he's just he always looks like he's about like halfway. Like he's like, Val, you need to take a nap? Nah, I'm good. Just kind of put me up here like a scarecrow and just wheel me in.
Just give me a push and I'll just keep walking through with momentum.
Yeah. Just once I get going, I'm good.
He looks like a less Asian Keanu Reeves. That's kind of how he
Yeah.
looks and acts.
He always just has that like, whoa.
But Keanu is apparently really cool to work with and really fun and really nice. Val from Stories, not so much. And apparently there was a real like dick measuring contest, headbutting between Keanu Reeves and Marlon Brando.
Not Keanu Reeves, you mean?
I mean Val Kilmer, yeah. And like like Brando, he wouldn't walk out on the set till Brando was out there, or vice versa. And Brando was literally, he's always been fucking crazy, but he'd have things on a cue card. So he'll hold up like signs off like just off the camera, or like apparently that when he was reading the when he was giving his speech on Superman, they literally wrote his lines on the baby he was holding.
I just this boy's getting paid $1 million to do this.
Yeah, but he brings it. So there's a they kind of they're all the way out. I don't remember where at, but I believe somewhere in Southeast Asia filming this. And it sounds kind of like it's gonna be a paradise and all this and that, but the whole shoot is just going shitty. And at some point, they give the director the boot. They say, "Dude, you're already paid. Get the fuck out of here. You can't come back to set." He just fucks off. One day, some of the guys on set, it's their day off. They're just riding through the jungle, checking things out, and then they see someone off in the river and like, who is that? They go close, like, that's our old director. What the fuck are you doing here? Like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of, there's this guy who lives by the river and I'm just kind of like, chopping wood, doing a little bit of work for him for shelter. It's like, you made a lot of money. You can go back home. Like, yeah, I know, but I figured I'd just kind of chill here for a while, just get my head straight. And like, well, we got to go back to the set tomorrow. Do you want to see what they're doing with it? He says like, well, I'll be fired. Like, we could put you in makeup. Like, all right, So
I thought we were just like chopping wood, just like for some random like Asian guy
out in the fucking forest somewhere. And keep in mind, I'm going off my memory. I think it's Southeast Asia. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, so
this guy says I could be the next Ryu if I stay here long enough.
Yeah. So if I just keep up
punching, he's gonna teach me the Philippine Hadoken.
Yeah. So then because I saw this documentary like 3 years ago, but anyway, then he comes back to the town, like, all right, so we're gonna put you in like costumes and all in a costume. And whenever they were done with the sets, whenever they were done with the shoots, everybody in an animal mask would just peel their mask off, like, oh fuck, it's so hot. Whenever they called like cut, that's when like everybody would peel their mask off. And this one guy who was a grip giving an interview was saying like, yeah, I was watching, everybody was pulling their masks off, but the dog guy. I was like, why the fuck isn't the dog guy pulling his mask off? And at some point, the director came up to him, says like, hey, can you come over here? You should improvise something. Just do this part. And then like I walked up to him later, says, hey, good job. I like you did that. And he just had a weird voice like, thank you. Like he was trying to put on a fake voice. So you could actually see in the movie, they showed the movie 3 times. They single him out in the background. So he like snuck back into his own movie. And then later they're talking about like all the animal people, like basically the hotel they're staying at. It was basically just a hive for drugs and sex for all the animal people, because they're just like, God,
So it was like a furry convention.
Well, they weren't in costume apparently, but they said it was just one of those things where just like they were just like so stressed out and so tired. They just want to go home. They just want to go back to the place. They didn't want to go out to the beach or anything. They just want to go back to the hotels, just drink, do drugs, and fuck. Make it all go away, just to make this thing over with. And apparently Val Kilmer, he was originally going to play the main character of the movie, but he's like, yeah, I'm not so big on that. It's kind of boring, just kind of stumbles around. And then plus we got divorces. I don't want all this resting on me. I want to have a fun character. And there's the guy who's sort of like, he's probably the most interesting character of the movie, human at least. He's the right-hand man of all the character. He's the right-hand man to Orson Scott. Marlon Brando. Yeah. He's the right-hand man to him. Where did Orson Scott Card come?
It's like George C. Scott and Orson Welles like to the fusion dance.
No, he's kind of like the right hand man to him. And you remember? I'm trying to remember the guy. I don't remember the actor's name, but do you remember Dragonheart?
Yeah.
The bad.
I was thinking about the movie the other day. I'm like, dude, talk about that movie was a big deal when it came out, but it's like, who the fuck has mentioned that movie
Not
in
now.
years?
Remember the evil?
God, I remember when that movie came out though. That movie was so fucking huge. It was like Batman
It
Forever
was.
huge.
Do you remember the evil? Remember the evil prince?
Yeah, I
That
do.
guy, they made him the main character because he was originally playing the right hand man villain, and then last minute, Val Kilmer's like, I don't want to do that. I want to switch roles, and it's Val Kilmer. So it's like, well, we can't just let him walk away from the set and all this. We still need to help him sell the movie. So, okay, guy who's the side character, you're now the main character, Val Kilmer. You're gonna be his role. So, and there's like other things going on in the script. Like originally, what's the name of the lady from The Water Boy who's like Adam Sandler's girlfriend? She's in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's fuck. I know her name too. I like that actress a lot.
She's also in American History X. She's in a bunch of stuff. But anyway, she's also in Almost Famous. Well, there's a part where she plays like a cat-like person. She's slowly turning into a cat, and she's kind of the love interest. At some point, she gets killed in the movie. The main bad guy, who I think's a hyena or a dog, throws a noose around her neck and says, "You were always his favorite." Then he just chucks her off a ledge, and you just kind of see her silhouette just kind of swaying back and forth. Originally, the guy had such a fucked up idea. He was gonna have all the dog characters run up, just beat the fuck out of her, and then like stab her, and then cook her, and then feed her to the main character, and not realize that he just ate like his sort of girlfriend.
I like that idea. What the fuck's that like part?
That's like so fucking extreme. Like, oh my god, this movie sounded like it was gonna be fucking insane. I mean, there was already like, oh, this is another good part. Like, there was, I'm trying to remember what happened exactly. I remember what the guy's role was, but Marlon Brando had this idea at some point. Like, some point there is like, I don't remember who this other guy was. I think he was some animal guy, and he says like Marlon Brando turned to me and said some kind of joke, and I was like, okay, whatever, okay, and I didn't get it. He didn't like me. After that, he didn't like me. There was some guy. There's like he was like literally the smallest man in the world in the movie, and he played like this little rat character thing. And it's actually, remember South Park, how the evil doctor guy had that little rat thing with him, the evil clone of him. That's what it's inspired.
Yeah,
that's what it's inspired from.
So that makes it. We gotta go track down this movie.
Yeah. So at some point, like he said a joke. That guy liked the joke. He says like, I like this guy. I want him with me the whole time. I want him to dress like me. I want him to look like me. And this is before Austin Powers. So he literally had his own mini-me. He wanted him to have his own attire just like him. And at some point he's just like, I like the idea of me playing a piano. And then he's on top of the piano playing a smaller piano.
Playing a mini.
So that happened. And he said like, this became his best friend. He just wanted this little guy to go with him wherever he went. And at some point, like I said, it went to the guy's head because I said hi to the guy who could barely speak English. Let's just say for argument sake, the guy's name was Kevin. He says like, I said hi to Kevin once he got into the elevator. He socked me in the leg and kept on walking. I'm just like, it took me every ounce not just kick him like a football across the fucking room. But I know what would happen if I got rid of Brando's best friend.
Yeah, his mini-me.
So, and at some point he said like Brando was pitching this idea where he's all saying like, at some point I like the idea of they think I'm dead, but then they unbuckle this thing on my neck. I pull my head off. Turns out I was a dolphin the whole time.
See, these are those kind of ideas you have like right before you're about to die. Well, actually, no, he went on longer than this. He was alive for another like 10 more years.
I think this was his last movie he did.
This is his last movie, but the last thing he did was the Godfather video game. Yeah, he did the voiceover and that was 2005. Maybe that game was 2005 or 6. It was like totally at the very, very end of PS2 because it also kind of came out like on, I think, 360 and Wii as well, obviously. But no, I feel like we do. This movie actually feels like it's like, oh yeah, it does kind of like makes sense to like why that guy's character in South Park talks like that and everything. It's like, oh, it's totally Marlon Brando. I never put that together. And then all these other things, plus just like Val Kilmer and all that stuff in there. Just do you think Val Kilmer's gonna be one of those actors though that like at some point somebody's gonna like resurrect his career with like? Well, yeah, he's gonna need something like that because he's sort of like the not nearly as lovable like John Travolta / Kurt Russell. That's how I kind of at least remind me of. He remind me of like sort of like kid Kurt Russell that just never like grew up in the Kurt Russell
still kind of has his like rugged charm to him. I don't think Kurt Russell ever lost that. Even in like his ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he was still kind of like, even when they presented him as like, I'm gonna destroy the whole planet and you're gonna do what I say. I was like, oh, it's just Kurt being Kurt. He's Kurt.
It's just Kurt. Well, it's like, remember the last movie I saw that had, this was probably like late 2000s. It was a Val Kilmer movie. It was a Val Kilmer and 50 Cent movie. And it was where like they were like running around fucking New Orleans after the...
Go on.
And they were running around New Orleans like shooting poor people or something like that as police officers after Hurricane Katrina. And Val Kilmer was like overweight. And I want to say he had like a Hawaiian shirt on and was not making it look flattering.
He's doing like a Benicio del Toro from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I think so. I could be wrong. He might not have had that on, but for some reason when I think about it, that's what I picture him wearing.
He was the villain in MacGruber, and he also was in that Tony Scott movie with Denzel, the time travel one. Deja Vu.
Deja Vu's pretty old,
in
though.
that. And
yeah,
it's high school for us.
Remember, like
2000.
When that movie came
it's not
over,
super
like, we had
old,
like one
but
of those like big spend the nights where like everybody was over, and you're like, dude, fucking Deja Vu came out on DVD.
I want to say it was actually, of all people, I want to say because we were making a movie in high school, and then on our way back from school, someone like, stop at Walmart, Deja Vu came out. And I want to say it was our friend Dex, and he was just we're watching this shit tonight.
It just felt like such like it was not a good movie, but it was just like such an odd movie to be like so fucking amped up about.
And he remember we were watching like, oh, fucking Val Kilmer. Oh, shit, Val Kilmer. What happened? And I think
Denzel
that,
too, right?
maybe he... Yeah, it was a Denzel Washington movie, and just Denzeling it up, being, cool as hell. And then Val Kilmer was like not the right-hand guy, but a guy who was on like the team and trying to figure out this case.
I haven't seen it in a long time. My dad, I think watched it like not that long ago. And I was like, oh, dude, it just reminded me of like, dude, that movie for some reason, I don't remember exactly why, but it was a really big deal one night.
I want to say just one of our friends really liked the movie and got it on DVD and wanted to watch it once we were done like shooting whatever it was we were shooting for school.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's Tony Scott. Don't get me wrong. That's one of my favorite directors, and Denzel and all this stuff. But he was talking about it like it was like the next Pulp Fiction. Like that's how big his excitement level was. Like he just discovered fucking like a Jay and Silent Bob movie for the first time and needed to show it to everybody else. And those movies, it's a good movie, but it's not like, it's more like one of those ones like, oh yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah,
that's when brought over Ong back
for
the first time.
Mind-blowing movies. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm sure he could probably get some. Maybe he's kind of like faced. I'm not sure. I heard that he went crazy at some point. Maybe he's chilled down, but he could probably still come back on something. He just had like Michael
Keaton's like in everything nowadays. You see like a fucking trailer. It's like you can't have a trailer now without Michael Keaton being in it. And now Mike Keaton's like kicking more ass.
Oddly enough, I think
it's like one of those ones. Like every movie, he's like angry and punching somebody and like grabbing a gun and getting in someone's face.
And he kind of, I want to say, what kind of restarted that was
I think
RoboCop.
That was the big like Michael Keaton like comeback flick.
He of all people was like the douchey like billionaire, kind of one of the most likable people in the movie.
But I'm like, no, that's awesome. I just can't wait. I'm like, they just need to make a Batman Beyond movie and have Michael Keaton be old Batman. I mean, I'd take Michael any of them. I mean, I'd fucking take
you know
Val
what?
Kilmer
If they
as
actually
old Batman, if that's what we're getting at, but my first choice is going to be Michael Keaton as old Batman.
Legacy.
Actually, I'll say this. The other person though, I mean, that I'd actually like just as much, if maybe not even maybe more. I don't know. Clooney. I think both of those guys. I just have a feeling that Clooney. I can see Michael Keaton doing it. I can see Clooney being like, I don't know. Last time I did it, everything kind of went downhill.
Well, my thing with like Keaton as Batman, he still doesn't seem like Bruce Wayne to me, but there's a legacy thing. It's one of those things when even as a kid, I was kind of thrown off. Like,
Yeah.
that's Bruce Wayne. He's kind of like balding and kind of looks okay. But at the same time, though, I don't think that he did a bad job at all. It was just one of those things. Just look at him. It was just kind of a weird kind of casting choice. But at the same time, though, he's been around. We're so used to people talking about Keaton Batman that it's almost kind of like a legacy thing. So if you want to do Batman again,
this
like,
sounds weird.
yeah, go for
I think
it.
he actually looks more Batman-like as he's gotten older than he does when he was younger. Like right now, like when I look at him in all those movie trailers, I'm like, fucking hey, dude, just slap him into the Bruce Wayne suit and have him come around like with a cane with a dog and just have him yell at a kid. You're just fucking set up. Like you don't gotta do much. I think he already looks because the older he got, the more scarier he kind of looks and intimidating. I think it's just when he's kind of younger, it's like he makes good Batman, but whenever he's Bruce Wayne, he just always feels like, I'm Batman. Like it's almost like a question, like it's a Michael Cera flick. I don't know why. You just feel like that's Bruce Wayne.
He looks a little bit more. Here's the thing about he looked like a little kind of confused in some ways, like in the Batman films. But I feel like Val Kilmer looked even more confused. Like he looked like how he got there. Like I feel like Michael Keaton was playing it off kind of like how he's Batman, but he's trying to bounce out. He's still a little unsure. He's trying to bounce out the two and try to like hide the fact that he's Batman, but still be himself. Like he's kind of trying to grip onto that. Where Val Kilmer just seems kind of like you said, like someone just kind of wheeled him into a room, stopped, and he just kind of kept walking.
Just he was like on a dolly, and they just kind of
yeah, like a dolly. Wrote stop, and he just walks. We gotta give him a running start. Here we go.
Said, oh no, they're gonna get Val Kilmer to be Batman in the Batman Beyond movie. I'd be like, fucking hey! I would still be pretty darn excited. I would choose Michael Keaton and George Clooney more, but I would still be excited if it was Val Kilmer.
Yeah, no. I think he'll do. You said it was Val Kilmer?
I'd say for a Batman Beyond movie, if they didn't get George Clooney or Michael Keaton, I would still be excited if it was Val Kilmer.
Funny thing, actually. I don't know why that popped in my head because I guess I was thinking about Batman Beyond. It was canceled, and they were talking about canceled films. Kevin Smith a little bit ago said that he is working on an unannounced animated DC project, and I'm really hoping they just said, you know what, we're gonna make your Superman script into a movie.
That'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool if it was something like just a little bit different like that. I would say, I guess the other thing they could kind of do, this might not be nearly, I don't know, maybe something a little bit more original, but would be neat. But they could almost take his Batman comic book like series with
Winding Gyre.
Yeah, just like even though you never had the third one come out yet, so maybe technically can't. But
there's Cacophony.
You can make like the first two and sort of like combine them together almost.
Cacophony's pretty short. That seems like the average length of like probably a DC Universe movie.
Yeah, but when you kind of put it into a movie form, it's almost like you can have it be a little bit longer. So I feel like you could probably combine both of those together. But I just don't know if that would be like, that might be too random of a book to like try to market and sell. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because that's more like the Batman book for the person who really likes Kevin Smith too. You know, it's not really like the Batman book for everyone.
Well, at the same time, it's not like a legacy book. So even though I really like Cacophony, Winding Gyre was good and I liked it. But I feel like it's a big setup for the third book, which isn't out yet. So, but apparently he's been working on it for a while now. So since before I moved here,
he's been working on it for years.
Hopefully it comes out soon. But anyway, I'll say that I hope it's the whatchamacallit, the Superman movie that never got made, because that'd be pretty interesting.
That would actually be kind of cool if it was. What if they even got like Nick Cage to voice it? Like they were thinking about doing it at that time period.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. Yeah, Luke Cage to voice Superman. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, why not?
But no, like that would be kind of cool. I can't imagine you getting Nick Cage to show up to like an animation studio and get paid like Nick Cage chump.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of hard to do. It doesn't want to have to be him, but I would be curious to see what his movie was, because watching that documentary, just going on documentaries here, the one where they talked about the Kevin Smith, not just the Kevin Smith movie, but the
Superman Lives,
multiple attempts of the three different, it was basically almost at one point 3 or 4 different movies. The Kevin Smith one sounded the best. Second one sounded fucking horrible because it was some fucking snooty asshole, didn't give a shit about comics, and was just like, I just do whatever Tim Burton tells me to do. And then like the third guy didn't seem like he knew a lot about Superman, but he seemed like he was fairly trying to make a whimsical, fun movie, a whimsical sci-fi film, which is like, okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's like I see where he's going, you know.
Yeah, like maybe it wasn't super accurate to the comics, but it sounds with the other guy just seemed kind of like, well, I mean, I still like Tim Burton, but it kind of reminds me like Tim Burton in the 90s had to be such a fucking douchebag because Kevin Smith was the one who was apparently, I think Kevin Smith was the one saying, you guys should get Tim Burton. Tim Burton would be the good guy to get. I think because he killed it with Batman, you should get Tim Burton. And then once Tim Burton came on, he's like, okay, I don't want to use the Kevin Smith scripts. Let's use a different scripts. And like, it's like he's the one that fought for you, and you give him the boot immediately rather than trying to work with him.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. And yeah, I think it's just that weird like director thing. Like he probably saw Clerks and said, "Fuck this guy, fuck him up, his stupid fucking black and white asshole."
Sounds like Trump. Fuck this guy.
I don't like this guy.
I'm gonna make the best Superman movie. You'll love it. It'll be amazing.
The most amazing Superman movie ever. He's gonna build a wall.
Whenever he says it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be okay. He does like the okay sign with like, you know, his index finger and his thumb together, his other fingers out. I just can't imagine him just go like, this is how tight my asshole is. My asshole's that tight. That's what I imagine every time I see that. I don't know why.
He's like, it's gonna be okay because you're gonna fuck it and it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna go from this to this. Just expands his fingers.
Like your whole body will be able to fit into it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It'll be like, and you thought it smelled bad on the outside. That's Star Wars joke.
But yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. What do you say?
End on fucking going up Trump's asshole. That's how we fucking end it.
I don't know where to take it from that point on. Seems like a logical place to just call it good.
Before it gets awkward and weird, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I could probably find something else to talk about, but I think that does.
While we're ahead.
Yeah, let's not try to top a comedic joke there. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. Till then, check out oldmanorange.com for more podcast, music, movies, and more. Check out my comic book, Pizza Boys, on Amazon and Comixology. Until then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
We will see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. And if you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. Won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to Old Man Orange.